Good afternoon. My name is Bob Vaughan. I'm real excited. Tom Demler has asked me to join the Freedom Now community and be a major part in it, and this is going to be a lot of fun for me. And I hope what I have to say today will be of some help to you. We're going to talk about framing today. Right now, whatever you're doing for a living, you're framed. Your family and friends know you as a doctor. They know you as a dentist. They know you as an engineer. They know you as a plumber. They know you as unemployed. I don't know, whatever you are. And what you're going to try and do is move to something else and be framed in a different manner. Now let me give you some examples of that. Right now you know 200 people. You have to assume that everybody knows 200 people. Now of those 200 people, every time I mention a name to you, a Kathy, a Cheryl, a Jerry, a Jose, doesn't matter, with that name comes a picture, and you put them in that position. So if one of those people call you about something else, it immediately throws off your subconscious. Because you didn't know. Why could they sell soap? They're a dentist. Why could they sell cookies? They're a doctor. Anything they tell you, it just doesn't make sense to you initially. Well, the same happens when you go out to try and talk to somebody. They wonder what you think you could do selling that when that isn't anything you've ever done. So what we have to do to change it is we have to get their eyes on something else. Now, we still have 200 people in your group. You know 200 people. Now, if they know 200 people, how many people do we know? That's 4,000 people you have access to in one manner or another. Now, you can either call 4,000 people, or we can do it the way I'm about to show you how to do it. I'm going to give you an example. I had a guy named Rob who was a real estate person. He'd been in the business a year. When he got in the business, his sales manager told him, I want you to go out and just act like yourself. Go out and call on people and get them to list a house or sell a house. But you got to have a business card, and you got to have flyers, and you got to have signs, and you got to join the board of realtors, and you got to do all these things. So I'll show you how to do it. That's called training. Well, that's not training. All that does is show you how to get a business card. So you can go out and hand out business cards. So you go out and hand a business card to your friends. You got 200 people. So what you're going to do is you're going to call Tom. He's the number one on your list. You say, Tom, do you want to list your house? I'm in the real estate business. And they say, Rob, you're an engineer. What are you doing selling houses? This is what they're thinking about. And they say, no, never mind, I don't want to. And they hang up. You've just burned your number one suspect. How about if he did it this way? When I sat down with Rob, I said, look, Rob, why don't we do it a different way? Why don't you do some work first? And he said, what would that be? I said, go find the best deal you can find on your board of realtors. Whatever it is. I don't care if it's a lot. I don't care if it's a piece of lake property. I don't care if it's a duplex. Single family house. Doesn't matter. Find something that if you could get it, you would get it immediately because it's such a good deal. And you've got to believe it in your heart. Okay. Now here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back to your list of 200 people. And I want you to call somebody. And I want you to say, conversation goes like this. Jerry, I know I haven't talked to you in a while. And I'm not an engineer anymore. That business, as you know, got a little iffy, and I'm out of that. And I have joined Coldwell Banker, and I'm so excited I can't stand it. Now listen, Jerry, here's what's happened. I found a duplex right here in Austin, Texas, that you can get for $95,000. Now whoever gets this, with the cash flow, they're going to have $200 a month cash flow. And the investment's only going to be $12,000. Jerry, who do you know that would be excited about having this kind of a property and this kind of cash flow? Now, he says to himself, well, wait a minute. I think I would. We were just talking about having some real estate. Tell me more about it. All right, let me give you another example. I'm going to take you that far on that one. I had a fellow in the car business came to me and he said, I can't sell cars, and I want to sell cars. I really like the business, but I haven't been able to sell any cars. I said, what did you do before? He said, I was a plumber. I said, okay. His name was Bill. I said, Bill, you were a plumber. And what did you do? He said, well, the sales manager told me I got some ups. I get to go out. When people walk in, I can talk to them. He told me to learn about my cars, so I learned all about the cars. Then he said, call all the people you know, your warm market, right? Your mothers and your fathers and your relatives and all the people you used to work with, and see who wants to buy a car. How'd that work for you? Not very well. What happened? Everybody said, what's a plumber doing selling cars? I said, what's that to me? What's that tell you? It tells you they framed you. You're a plumber. What are you doing selling cars? I said, here's what I want you to do. Go on your lot, find the best deal you can find. Now listen, Jerry, it's got to be a good deal. It's got to be so good that you want to buy it. So okay, do that. So he called me back. He said, I got something. I said, what do you got? He said, well, a car got traded in. A widow traded in this sedan. Her husband had always been in his car, and it's been 6 months sitting in the garage. She doesn't want it there anymore. It reminds her of him. She doesn't like the car. It's too big. She wanted to trade it in, and it's only 2 years old. Had very little miles on it, and we don't want it on the lot. My sales manager told me we were going to sell it or send it to the auction. It's not the kind of car we want here, but it's a beautiful car, low mileage. I said, okay, you got the car. Now, here's what I want you to do now. Bill, I want you to call your 200 people. You got 200 people? I got 200 people. I want you to call them up. Here's the conversation. Sally, this is Bill. Haven't seen you for a while, and I know I was in the plumbing business. That didn't do too well. I fell into a septic tank, couldn't find my way out of the damn thing. I'm not doing that deal again. So I'm in the business of the car business, and let me tell you what's happened, Sally. I found this deal. This car got brought in. This widow, it was her husband's car. He wanted to trade it in. My sales manager doesn't want it on the lot. It's only 2 years old. It's low mileage. It's a perfect real estate car. And I know you're in the real estate business. Who do you know in the real estate business would like a car like this one?